we are going to the more in the React JS. So that is a React Essentials. So React Essentials have the three parts. Okay, components, JSX, and state. So so building the user interface is called the component. So whenever you are going to create the user interface, what the user interface will show to the end user or the browser, that is a part of the component. So component will be responsible to do that. And using this, the using sharing and outputting the data. So you are using the your JSX code to execute your process, sharing the data from one component to another component, and outputting the data to the UI user interface to display the data. So these are the part of that. Handling user events whenever user are going to click on any button, or they are providing the any different of the events, then it can be handled by the React. Building interactive UI with state. So these are the concept that is called the state in the React, which we will learn in the coming sessions. That is a very important, which is the responsible to generate the UIs dynamically. Okay,
Okay.
here is how the components are going to create. Component have the three parts: the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The combination of the three parts is going to create the React component. Now, why components? So, because components are the three main reasons we are going to create: the reusable building block, related code live together, and separation of concerns. So whenever you are talking about the reusable building blocks, it means that you are going to create a code for a one time, but you want to use that the same code on the different pages or the different places on your application. So it is a create a small building blocks and compose the UI form them. Okay, if needed, reuse a building block in different part of the UI. So you are going to create a one single code for a single logic, and but you want to the reuse the same logic in your application different locations, then you can go with the components. Here related code lives together. Here code lives together means you are going to build your code by merging the two things that are like a HTML and JS JavaScript. So related to the HTML and JavaScript code is stored together in React. Since JavaScript influence the output, storing the JavaScript plus HTML together makes sense. Okay. Separation of the concern. So here you are going to make a separation on your page with the different components by creating. So you are going to create a one logic in a one component and another logic is another component. So the benefit is that the multiple peoples are come and work on a single page with the help of the components. So every the page contains the every piece of code in a different of components. So different components are taking the different functionality. If they are the based on the each other, then we can make a relationship between them by using the props. Okay, so these are the components. Manage states. So we will learn this by tomorrow because Tarak is not available. So we are going to uh, do the different thing.
Uh, by the way, sir, the previous assignments, do we share it as a Word document or what? The code and everything?
Assignment was in the PDF.
Mm.
Okay, so that PDF is containing the some the input output
Yeah,
type
correct,
of
correct.
the queries and the programs also.
Mm. Okay.
So in our code, if you can see that yeah, the previous session we have completed this type of code here. Okay, so we are using this one, and we have created a new component that is the employee detail and passing that. Okay, so this is the one way, and another way is that the it is very simple, which is understandable. So what I'm doing here, this is my employee detail JS.
Mm.
This is the code for that.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm going to copy this code again and go to the employee JS. What I'm telling to you, this is a way. This is not, I'm not saying that this is the best way. Okay, best
Mm.
way need to choose ourselves. These are the ways. On these ways we can also work. Okay,
Okay, okay.
so here I'm going to use that code again in my this TD. Okay, now I don't want to pass the full uh, the data set to my another component.
Hmm.
I want to just pass the value, and value will return me whatever I want to show on the UI. So what I'm doing, I will do the same thing as here. Okay, but now I just want to use this tr from here to here. Instead of the other things, I am just using the tr. Here I will use my component employee detail, and here I will add the employee detail, set the key, emp id, close this one, and I'm going to pass emp name as a parameter item.emp id, sorry, emp name, and here another parameter is emp age, item.emp age, and another one is emp id equals to item.emp id, and it is closed. Now I'm going to remove this code what I have written here because it is returning by my another component. Okay, so I'm going to pass the emp name, age, and emp id. The same thing we are going to here, and now instead of the item, because item is not available here, I don't want to use the key here. I don't want to use any loop here because loop is handled by the previous component. I need to just provide the value. What value should be the part of the table contents? So props dot, I have the emp name. Okay, like that. If I'm going to here, I need to write the props dot emp age, and here props dot emp age should be the last one. Here we are going to use the emp id. Okay, check it is running. Okay, now save them. and save this one and remove this component. So what will happen? The thing is that whenever you are going to so whenever you are going to call them here, the loop is going to one by one to execute the item, that is say employee data set. One by one item is going here, and one item contains the one information of your record and sent to the another component, that is a employee detail. So employee detail will be pass the three main this these parameters, and these parameters are the part of the employee detail parameter. And here in employee detail parameter we are in employee detail component we are using the these parameter values from by using the props. Now it will be written the tr, the table row, and table row will return and show in it, and it will be written to the tr again.
HTML, the
The
HTML syntax
HTML,
is
yeah, here is a problem. Props. Mm, props is not different, but it is a props.
yes here, sir. Line number 76.
76.
You have to create a tr tag there and
No,
table.
no, no. TR tag is returned by this. There
Okay,
is no issue. There is no issue with that. The HTML part is not an issue.
okay.
There is just showing you the props.
Props is not
Seven,
defined.
yeah, in the employee JS. But where is the props? Oh, sorry,
Return
my
should be close
mistake.
bracket.
There is not any prop here
What is that?
because I was taken a copy from
Previous
there.
line.
Okay. Yes, yeah. So this is I need to check the name of my data set. My data set name is employee list. Okay, I need to use that. So always check the what the error is going to say to you.
Correct.
So here I'm saying that the file name is employee.js. It
72
is
line.
showing prop is not defined. It means there is a problem with us, with our code,
Hmm.
that we are not assigned any props. So in this is my parent component. In parent component we cannot use the props, right?
Correct.
So here I'm using the employee list, and employee list is mapping, and one by one the data is going here, and employee image, 1 second. The name is also the different one. You can see that the name
Employee
is
name.
employee ID, employee age, and I am using in the item employee name, item employee ID, employee, but employee age is a different one.
Okay. Same
Okay,
for ID also, sir.
so same, it should be same.
Yeah,
So that
correct.
is a employee
Correct.
age, like that employee ID.
Yes.
Okay, I think everything is good now, and we can check that. Refresh. Props, here are the props. These are the props also. We don't need to use that. we have the header. Where the
Right,
header
right.
items? Header name is this. So instead of the props, we need to use that. Okay. So here you can see that the employee name, employee age is available here, but it is not returning the component.
Hmm.
You know, it
Correct.
is not returning the component. So because whenever you are using the, suppose I'm using this one,
Hmm.
instead of that, I'm using this one here, this, and I am passing the some value here as a hard code. Remove this one, don't want. Now you can see that we we have not any output here right now. So save is this.
Like we can close the brackets.
No, no, it's not a big issue with that. You can do that, or without bracket you can also set. There is no issue with that. But it is not returning the tr. But if I will use the table, instead of the table, I will use the div. 1 second. I'm not using here. Actually, we are working on the div basically, not in the trs. So that's why it is showing the errors. What is the mistake here? There's some issue in it. It should be written at least hello.
Mm.
What's the employee detail? I don't use the props. Do that. And I'm using the employee detail here. Oh, oh. But where is hello? Why it is not coming? Uh, that. Yeah, putting that. The employee details. Yes. Strange. This component is not working well. अभी तक तो सही चल रहा है. But where is hello? Hello, hello. Return hello. That's okay. Second one thing. Now you can see the hello. There is a problem with the terminal. I'm removing my code and again come in the previous one. Okay. Come to this one. Issue which is maybe.
close braces.
Okay, saved it. Now these are the same. Okay.
So the unreachable code error comes in when there is no memory is, created for div element. Is that so, sir?
What you say?
You
Div
can
element. Okay. Now suppose I'm removing this div.
div.
Okay. Now you can see that it is unreachable.
Yeah, unreachable code. Okay.
Because div is a open element,
Okay.
but the finger is not an non-open element.
Okay.
So you can see that here we can see the content here.
Hmm.
Okay, so like that you can use your component in a loop also. So the main purpose is that I'm trying to show you that we can use the component in a loop to display multiple times on a single component. So here we are using a component which is using multiple times to display them, right?
Yes.
There are the two ways. We can pass our content to the component, and here we can perform our activity, or we can create a one component. Suppose in which situation this type of work will uh, do by ourselves. For example, a component have created by Tarak. Okay, and that component is working in another different pages also. Now Ganesh have another requirement, but he wants to use that same component code in our application. The application is same, okay, in our page. So there are the two ways. The Ganesh will rewrite the same code again and use that. The another way is we can use the component which I have written by the Tarak and use them in our code to implement the design. So here the thing is that you want to do some changes in your page according to your requirement, but you don't want to change in your component in the child component, because if you are going to do any changes in your child component according to your requirement, it will also reflect on the other pages also. So in that case, whenever you want to use the same component but want to do some modification on it, then you can do that. You can use the component. If you want to do any modification in that component, then it will be reflecting to the other pages also. So make sure to make a mind for that. Okay, so it should not be reflected on the other page because component are the reusable. So I have shown you at a two ways to display your contents. The first, we can pass the data set to another component and make a logic for there. Second, we can use the same component and pass our parameters according to our parameters that data is showing here. Fine. Anyone have any doubt on it?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, let's see. Do 1 minute. We are going to do our small application. We are going to create our small application step by step, what we are going to learn and we are going to implement in our application. Okay. So in this project, I'm going to create another folder that is a KBA. Have you heard about the Kaun Banega Crorepati?
Yes, yeah.
So like now we have a game that is a Kaun Banega Arabpati, KBA. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to create a folder that is a KBA. In this, first we are going to uh, create a form, the page that will show our questions. Okay. So KBA question dot JS. So this is our function. Okay. So this is our simple the component which I have created, and we will implement one one by one step in it. Before that, I'm going to again in the employee.js. Now, before that, we are going to learn more things. Move to the KBA. The important thing is that is a styling. So in the React.js, there are the three type of styling we can implement by using the CSS, the separate file. We need to create a separate file of CSS and include in our application or the component. Second thing is the inline styling. So inline styling is the style on which element we need to implement. Then we will write the style on it. The third one is the object styling. We are going to create an object and we are going to apply that object in our styling. So now we are going to learn first the inline styling. Okay, what is the inline styling? So here you can see we have this header. Suppose I want to make a background color of this header as a red or maroon, then how we can do that? This is my header and it is a TR. So now in TR, I'm going to create a style equals to. So what will in the JavaScript? In JavaScript you are providing the your styles like that. That is a background color is red. Now I'm going to save that. This is a remember this is a simple HTML styling the CSS which is acceptable by the HTML and the browser also. So but if you are saying the style style style, so style is not a prop for the styling property value, not a string, for example style. So my question, the thing is that in the if you are going to work with the React, it this concept will not work because this is a traditional concept which is acceptable only by in the HTML. Okay, but in the React we cannot apply this type of styling inline, that is called inline styling. Okay, so now in which format they wants this format. but it is still not true because the value of the attribute uh, should be in string, but the attribute should not be a string. Still, it is not correct because the attribute names are little different in the React.js. Like a background color, which is written in the Java in the HTML part, in React.js, it is written like a background color. The background, the first word of the starting character is lowercase, and the second word of the starting character should be a uppercase. So now I'm going to save that, and if I'm seeing the background color of that is set as a red. This is a inline styling. Now I want to apply more attribute by using the inline styling, and it is a simple. This is a comma, and I need to pass. Suppose I am setting the font. So in the simple HTML, if you are into font size, then you will write like that. But in React.js, the font, the first character of font should be small, and the second word of the first character should be a capital letter. Now I'm setting the size. Size is 14 pixels, or I am setting the not 14. I will set the 16 pixels. Okay. So here you can see the size will set in the. Now what will happen if you are setting this? So it will not containing the parameters. Always the parameter values should be in a string like that. Now one more I'm going to set, that is a font width. So here it is a bold. Okay. So like that you can implement the your inline styling. Now I want to use that inline styling instead of the inline styling. I want to use the CSS. So what I need to do? I will create a new file. The name whatever you want. I'm using the same name, employee style dot css. The CSS is the same as a previous one. There is no changes in it. So I'm going to create a class name header one style, and now I need to write the same thing in our HTML, in our CSS. Sorry, background color red, font size 16, and font width bold. So first here the parameter, the name is little different from there. So if you can see the background dash color, not the background and color like that. The name of the parameters are different. Here the background color is the same word, but here they are separation by the dash. Now background color is a red, and the font size is I'm putting the 16 pics, 17 pics, and change the color also. I'm using the maroon color. Okay, and font width is equal to bold. It is created. I need to first import this CSS file in our JS. So how we can do that? It is a simple import, and it will be directly imported from here. The file name of my CSS is employee style.css. Okay. Instead of the style, I removing that. If you remember that in the HTML, how we are going to implement the classes with the HTML, that is a select class equals to, and we are providing the class name. Okay, what is the class name here? The class name is what we have created here, that is the header one style. This is my class name. But in the React.js, the class is not a correct keyword. For that, we have a class name. This keyword, this parameter will be used to apply the class on the component. Now I'm going to save that, and you can see that maroon color is set here, and now the color settings is coming from the CSS, right? Any question, query till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So first of all, suppose I'm going to convert all of these things through the div instead of the table. Okay. I have a div. So here you can see this is a one div. This should be second div. This is a third div, and this should be a fourth div. Like that. It should work. So what the first div is containing, this is a welcome. That is a this one top header. So I am just putting inside of it. What the class is implemented? This one. I'm just going to copy that and put them. The div behavior is like that. Whenever you are going to create a div, then div will display line by line. Okay, so every value is going to display by default line by line. The first row have the one div, second row has another div. So if you want to make the two divs in a single line, then you need to implement the CSS for that. Right now, we have a first header that is a single line. That is in a single line. So don't need to do that. Any changes in it? Now like that, the site info. The second one is just different rhyme. No need to do it, anything. And the third one, it is a div again. But in this div, I have a two separate uh, columns in a single row. So div is a single row, and here we will create a two div. In the first div, this should be a left, and second div, sorry, second div should be right. If I'm going to save that and execute that, you can see that the div will show on the top. It is a single line, that's okay. This is a single line, that's okay. But it should be a left and should be right. This is not okay. So for this, there are two ways. I'm going to implement here style, and that is a flex. Flex is a property. Oh, sorry, display. Display is the property. The value of that is a flex. Flex is going to convert the. There are two things: the uh, flex, and another one is the uh, inline. Inline style. So flex is going to convert the two divs in a single row. So you can see that left and right are the coming here. If you are seeing the inspect element, and here this is a one div, this is a second div, but the length of these divs are only for these. And here you can see that it is consuming all of the length of your browser, like that here. So you need to set the length of your divs whenever you are working on it. So these are the part of the UI. I'm not covering the all of the UI parts. So we are. I'm going to explain you how we can implement in it. Okay. Now what is the left? Left content should be our these things, because TD first TD is containing these things. So I am going to copy that, and in the left div we are going to implement this. In the right, there is a table. So I'm going to right now putting the table here in the right side. You can see left right, it will show the IT, HR, and finance, and in the right side, it will show these things. You can see that it is showing here. So moral is that why I'm showing to you these things, we can create our application in the TRTD mode also, and the div also.